Geturo, and welcome to Geturo's Mind Lab. Today, I'd like to talk about the topic of self-love and what what is defined as self-love and why is it important for everybody to practice self-love. So, a little bit of background about myself. I realized through the course of my life that some of the decisions that I've been making have been not generally beneficial for me. In my mind, they were, but they really weren't. Um, I stayed in relationships too long, way past the expiry date. I allowed people around me to dictate my moods. I I am a people pleaser, so I would do things that generally may not have been good for me, but great for the other person. But then they would leave me feeling drained, leave me feeling resentful, and I could not understand why that should work out that way. Why is it that when you give yourself to somebody, to something, why I should walk away feeling drained? That like made no sense, and I could not figure out why that was the case. And for years, I went through that cycle of when you love somebody, when you care about people, you give of yourself, and that left me feeling miserable. Not because I don't like to give of myself, but because I was getting nothing in return. I was not getting what I expected to get from giving myself. And I went through a journey in my life, and this is, we're talking about the last 2 years, where I really started like evaluating what the heck is going on with me. Like, why can I not be happy? Why am I feeling so miserable? Yet I feel like I'm giving to people all of me, you know? And it hit me that, I came across, I'm not sure how this happened, but I came across a definition of self-love, and that blew my mind, because we assume that to love yourself is a selfish thing, that to love yourself is a bad thing, specifically because it is selfish, and we pretty much don't want to go that route. You're like, well, it doesn't seem right that, because we keep saying that, oh, this person loves themselves too much. This person is, there's a big difference between loving yourself and being vain. There's a big difference between being vain and loving yourself. When you love yourself, you treat yourself with respect. That is what self-love means. You take care of your mind and your body. You get to know yourself. You learn to say no. You take time for yourself. What this means is that you take the time to get to know yourself. It's very interesting that when you can look at couples, you can look at any type of relationship in general, and look at your role in that relationship, and you find that you tend to know more about other people than you know about yourself. We tend to put in the time to know other people than we tend to put time to know about ourselves. When we go look into a mirror, if you ever stood in front of a mirror, you notice that if you really look into a mirror, you notice that there are features even about yourself that you've never noticed before. Because when we look into a mirror, we don't look at ourselves. We look into a reflection of ourselves. And our mind has a great way of separating what we see from ourselves. So when you're looking into a mirror, you almost feel like you're looking at someone else and not yourself. but we never really take the time to look and see this person. What are their features? How do the ears, my ears look like? What does my nose look like? What do my teeth look like? How does my smile look like? You know, all those things are really not things that we think about, because when we look into that mirror, we're not, in our minds, we don't feel like we're looking at ourselves. But when you do sit there in front of a mirror and really look at yourself, look at your features, look at your skin, look at your nose, look at your facial structure, you kind of get a sense that you're almost looking at a stranger, like you've never met this person before. Now, this is something that happens because, again, we don't spend time getting to know ourselves. Now, coming back to treating yourself with respect, what does that entail? So when you're looking at yourself with respect, this is what it means. Or rather, treating yourself with respect. This is what it means. That you don't do things to yourself that you would not like other people to do to you. This includes self-talk, that you don't put yourself down if you don't expect other people to put you down. You don't call yourself ugly if you don't expect other people to call you ugly. You don't call yourself stupid if you don't expect other people to call you stupid. Because your mind, your thoughts are reflected by other people. How you think about yourself is reflected by other people, because you end up acting some type of way to confirm your thoughts about yourself. So if you feel that you're not smart, in class, you will avoid answering questions. You will avoid interacting with the teacher because you're afraid to embarrass yourself. You know, you will not participate in group discussions because you feel that you have nothing to offer. These are reasons. The reason why you feel that way is because you don't respect, you don't love yourself. And people, they read into that. And so when you're walking around feeling like you're not smart enough, people start treating you like that just because of the actions that you take that prove that you're not. But when you have the confidence in your ability and you don't demean yourself, then you start walking around with confidence, and people around you treat you as such. They treat you with respect because they feel that you respect yourself. That's the vibe that you're sending, that I respect myself, and so I expect other people to respect me. That's just the reality of how the world works and how the mind works. So part of respecting yourself is taking care of your mind and your body. So when I talk about taking care of your mind, this is what I mean. That the mind is one of the most powerful organs that we have in the body, yet it is the most neglected part of ourselves. You know, you see people going to the gym to look better, right? And this is I'm going to try and connect why it's important to have a balanced mind and body. We go to the gym to take care to work out because we want to look better. You know, we say we want this type of body. When I get this type of body, I will feel better about myself. But the problem with that type of mentality, the problem with that type of thinking is that it is not that your body, changing how your body looks will make you feel better. Because how you feel that you look is based on how you see yourself. It's not based on how your body looks. You can be 600 pounds and feel like you look like a model. You look amazing. You can be 120 pounds and feel like you're overweight. You don't look good. That is a factor of your mind telling you how you look. You allowing your mind to tell you these negative things about your body. So those things have to go hand in hand. When you take care of your mind, you're taking care of your thoughts. You're a master of your thoughts. You're in control of your thoughts. Your thoughts just don't happen. You allow them to happen as they are. When you talk down to yourself, you're creating an atmosphere where everything around you reflects that. So when you think that you don't look good, no amount of working out will ever allow you to feel that you're looking good. So you'll obsessively work out, trying to get to that place, or you give up because you feel that you're not getting to that place you feel you need to get to. If you believe that you're beautiful, if you believe that I mean, you speak to yourself and say that I am a beautiful person, that I have a great body. In the moment, you allow your body to align with your mind. By saying this, yes, I would like to lose weight for health reasons. I would like to gain weight for health reasons. State those reasons. That way, when you're talking about your physical health, you're saying that my physical health is the reason why I want to take care of myself. To have a physique that your body is capable of having is something that you tell your mind, this is the type of physique that I want, because you want it. Not because other people will appreciate it, not because other people will like it, but because that's what you want. When you teach your mind to look at things in that perspective, instead of saying that this will make me better, make me feel better, it will not by itself. It may make you feel better temporarily, but it's not something that lasts perpetually. Like, you don't stay in this state of you're feeling good just because you went to the gym. No, you'll feel good temporarily. That sense of achievement will give you a boost temporarily. Now, if you pair that sense of achievement with how you think of yourself, in terms of, I went to the gym, I achieved something today, I moved my body, I feel healthier, I feel more energetic, I feel stronger. If you have that mentality towards your exercises, and again, I'm saying about mentality, meaning that you have thought through why you're doing what you're doing. When you find yourself isolating your mind and your body, your results will never come through, because you will always think about your mind as, you will always think about your body as something separate from your mind, and you will always be pulled all over the place by the new fads that are coming out. If people are saying that this is what you need to eat to do this, to look better, when you have celebrities popping up and you're told this is the new sexy, you'll be blown in the wind because your mind is not settled. Now, when you get to know yourself, and by yourself I'm talking to know about the self that controls these thoughts. When you get a thought that is negative, how do you rein it in? You know, how do you rein in that thought that is telling you that you're not enough? You rein in that thought by speaking positive things into your life. By saying, no, I am not this negative thing. No, I am not a loser. No, I am not lazy. I am not weak. You speak those things into yourself, and then you start seeing them manifested in your life, because once you start saying positive things about yourself, you follow through those actions consciously and unconsciously. When you start saying, I feel amazing, then your attitude will start shifting, and people will see you acting in some type of way that shows that you do feel amazing, because your thoughts are projected in your actions. So, understanding that knowing yourself is the most important thing that you can do for yourself. Knowing your mind is the best thing that you can do for yourself in 2020. Starting today, that you can say, I do not want to look at myself as beneath So look at this example. If you have a friend that you look up to, ask yourself, why do you look up to this person? Do I have the same qualities that I look up to in this person? You will find that the things that we look up at in a person are things that we are not exercising in our own lives. The things that we would like to do, but we feel like we cannot do. That we feel that we're incapable of doing. And so that's why we're in awe of other people doing things that we think that we cannot do. We look at people, we look up at people because we want to be like them. You're a unique individual. You're able to create your own path. But it first starts with knowing, who are you? Sit down, get a piece of paper, get a pen, and write down thoughts, how you see yourself. And that will be a great starting point, because when you put things down to paper, I've come to find that to be very, very, very important. Because when you writing down thoughts, when you write down your thoughts, you get to see them. You get to see exactly. There's a difference when you're thinking thoughts versus when you have them on a piece of paper. When they're right in front of you, or even recorded like this, when you have those thoughts documented, you're able to see, you're able to visualize how you think about yourself. And when you start to see how you think about yourself, then you are able to adjust your attitude. You're able to self-analyze and ask yourself, is this really who I am? Coming back to the point of, we get to know our relatives, we get to know our spouses, we get to know our boyfriend or girlfriend better than we know ourselves. If you take the time to get to know yourself, you would be amazed by the type of person that you are and you're capable of becoming. So I think that is extremely important. Now, the other thing I'd like to talk about is learning to say no. Learning to say no. Saying no is one of the hardest things that we do out here. When you're trying to tell, when you think that, especially again, coming back to the fact that I have a tendency to try and make people happy at my own expense. And I found that again to make me very miserable. Now, learning to say no was probably one of the best things that I've ever learned. It does not make you mean. It doesn't make you an ass because you say no. This is what happens when you say no. When you feel that, let me put it this way. You need to ask yourself, why should I say yes to this? Or why am I saying yes to this? What does it do for this person? What does it do for me? Again, it sounds selfish because it's meant to be. That thought process is meant to be a selfish thought process. It's not something that you're asking this other person. This is something that you're asking yourself. What do I get from doing this? Number one, is it beneficial for them? Is it beneficial for me? If I give of myself, if I give this thing that is being asked of me, how does it leave me feeling? Does it leave me feeling drained? Does it give me joy? Does it make me sad? Does it make me feel used? Depending on the answer to that question, or rather those questions, then you come up with a solution. Generally, for example, if someone is asking me for something or asking me to do something, I have to ask myself, how do I feel? And you will know how you feel about something immediately. You know, your emotions are there to alert you about something that is off. There's nothing wrong with emotions. They're just there to alert you of something that is not feeling right. Ask yourself, why am I feeling these types of emotion towards that particular issue? That will help lead you to a path where you make a decision that is most likely good for you. Now, you can ask, what does saying no mean in that particular situation? If I say no, how will they interpret that? How will I feel about that? Saying no at the end of the day is one of the most underappreciated things out there, because you feel that you will hurt other people's feelings, and so we say yes. We say yes despite the fact we know that it may make the other person happy, but it's going to make you miserable. We say yes knowing that it will advance that other person and put me behind the 8 ball. That's the problem with saying no, not saying no, rather saying yes to everything. You have to learn to say no to certain things. And I'm not saying say no to everything. You have to say no to certain things, because there are situations that you find yourself in that can only drain you, can only take away from your own happiness. Loving yourself means that you don't allow other people to come into your space and violate it. What I mean by that is you have to take a stand for yourself. It doesn't matter how other people will perceive it, but you have to take a stand for yourself. Saying no means setting boundaries and telling people you cannot cross this boundary. I expect you to treat me with respect. They may not like it, they may not want to, but you expect people to treat you with respect. And when you expect people to treat you with respect, they will either treat you with respect or they will leave. They will either respect your boundaries or they will leave. When you love yourself, when you take care of yourself, you're surrounded by people who respect and love you because they understand that this is the type of person that I'm dealing with. When you allow people to get away with everything, that they know that they can use you any which way, what ends up happening is you're surrounded by people who are there to drain your energy, people who are there to use you, because they know that you're the type of person that is easy to manipulate and to use. They know that you have no boundaries and you will go anywhere the wind blows. When you stick up to yourself and say, I will not allow that, you find that you win yourself out of friends who have no value. And rather they bring no value, they bring no balance to the relationship, they only take. And you're left with people who are supportive, who bring balance to your relationship, and at the end of the day you find that you're much happier, because you have people who do care about what you want just as much as you care about what they want, instead of a person who's just taking and not giving back. So that is part of self-love, becoming a better version of you. Because you have to understand this, that nobody can make you happy if you're not happy. Nobody's responsible for how you feel. Your emotions come from you. They don't come from other people. You know, when you think about it, you say, someone makes me angry. Being angry is something that comes from within. It doesn't come from somewhere else. It doesn't come from that person doesn't bring that into the room. That is something that comes from within. That is your human emotion. So you have to ask yourself, why am I getting this feeling of anger when this person is around? So you go back into your own mind and ask yourself that question, and you find that you control why that person is making you angry. That person cannot control why they're making you angry. You can decide that this person does not have awareness and therefore will continue making you feel how you're feeling. So you take control of your situation by, number one, letting them know that this is how you feel about them. Because if you cannot get over a feeling that means that this is something, it's something that you need to go work on. So again, self-love means that you're treating yourself with respect, you're taking care of your mind and body, you learn to say no, and you get to know yourself. And you don't get to know yourself unless you take time for yourself. You take time to think about your thoughts. Take time to question your way of thinking. Question why you think the way you do, why you think the way you do. Because once you understand your own thoughts, when you understand your own emotions, you start on a journey of thinning the herd. This means that you start surrounding yourself with people who build you up instead of breaking you down. You start surrounding yourself with people who care about themselves and in turn care about you. Relationships are neutral. This means that when we come into a relationship with somebody, we all come in with our own set of values, our own type of thinking, and the person, our own hobbies. We bring those things in as a separate identity, as a separate entity. Now, when we meet someone, we should not have the goal of changing them to be like us, because we're already us. We don't need a second us. We should be appreciating the differences. We should be appreciating that people are not like us. And so when you understand that and walk into a relationship in a neutral mode, you will be able to offer the best version of yourself to them. That is what makes everything fulfilling. Because once you love yourself, you're able to offer yourself to other people just by your presence, without taking something away from yourself, without taking something away from the person that you're interacting with. So again, love yourself, and once you start loving yourself, everything else starts falling in place. So that's my spiel on self-love. If there are any more, if you guys have thoughts about this, you can leave them in the comment section below. Please like and subscribe for these types of videos. And life doesn't have to be hard. People think that you have to suffer to enjoy life. You don't have to suffer while doing things. You don't have to suffer through things. You can find a fulfilling way to live life where you're not waking up every morning with anxiety, with stress, with depression. Those are things that you don't have to live with. Because you're unique and you're capable of anything that you've ever thought about. You can do anything that you want to do, no matter how hard you think it is right now. It is just an issue of starting the journey of, first of all, learning to love yourself first, and then everything else starts to fall in place. So again, like and subscribe to this video, share it with someone who may want to hear it, and please leave comments down here with your thoughts about this topic or any other topic that you would like me to discuss in the future. But for now, thank you for your time. Again, I'm Geturo, and until the next time, cheers.